Can you hear me okay? Today we're going to be discussing machine automation with dual-port Ethernet I/O. First, we'll give you an introduction of machine automation and dual-port Ethernet I/O modules. Then we're going to discuss data acquisition with machines, followed by machine automation applications, and then we'll show you how to use SCADA software for machine automation. If you have questions, please enter them into the chat box at any time. At the end of the training, there will be some trivia questions. Please enter your answers into the chat box, and the two people with the most correct answers will each win $25. I'm Maria Limoni, our sales manager, and I have Robert Morau from our technical support department with me. Later in the training, he will show SCADA software for machine automation. ICP-DAS was established in 1993. Our headquarters is located in Hsinchu, Taiwan. ICP-DAS USA was launched in 2001 to support the North and South American markets. We have over 200 R&D engineers. We work closely with them to add new features to our products, develop new products, and to support our customers. Most of our products are RoHS compliant, which means they're lead-free. We have our ISO 9001 certification, which ensures we meet product statutory and regulatory requirements. Machine automation increases industrial production and reduces labor costs. With dual-port Ethernet I/O modules for distributed data acquisition systems, many Ethernet I/O can be installed in one machine without a many-port Ethernet switch. Data can flow into dual-port Ethernet I/O modules through one Ethernet I/O module port and into another Ethernet I/O module. Since each Ethernet I/O module has a two-port Ethernet switch inside, dual-port Ethernet I/O modules for distributed data acquisition systems allow TCP-based I/O to be installed in a daisy chain network topology. It could be used in machine automation. ET7202 is a multifunction module with 3 analog inputs, 6 digital inputs, and 3 relay outputs. It provides configurable analog inputs. Each analog input can be configured to a proper range and also has 240 VRMS high voltage protection. Each analog input can be programmed to accept current or voltage as input or output depending on the position of the corresponding jumper. ET7202 is fully RoHS compliant and has qualification for 4 kV ESD protection as well as 2500 VDC intramodule isolation. ET7226 is an Ethernet I/O module with a 2-port Ethernet switch, 6 analog inputs, 2 analog outputs, 2 digital inputs, and 2 digital outputs. It communicates over Modbus TCP and supports operating temperatures from -25 to 75 degrees Celsius. Each analog input can be configured to a proper range and has 240 VRMS high voltage protection. Data acquisition is the process of taking real-world physical information like pressure, temperature, count, or weight, and turning that information into something a computer or controller can understand. You may want to count the number of boxes produced by a machine that makes cardboard, so you can know how many boxes were produced per day, per hour, or per minute, so you can accurately determine how many boxes you can ship out per month. You may want to count how many bottles of soda or cartons of juice were filled by a machine, so you can determine how fast you can fulfill orders from supply chain stores. You can show the data on a machine, or you can gather the data with SCADA software and show the data on a large monitor on the wall. CNC machines can communicate back to a central system for monitoring productivity, restoring programs, and scheduling machine maintenance. I7188E2 serial to Ethernet converters are being used to help CNC machines communicate back to a central system. ET7226 dual-port Ethernet I/O modules with voltage and current inputs are being used to measure I/O cycle times, strain gauge, and batch weights from CNC machines. Indusoft SCADA software is used as a graphical representation of the data. Indusoft also displays alarm data and collected information. ET7202 dual-port Ethernet I/O is used in printing machines for turning equipment on and off as needed. WP8441 WinPack programmable automation controllers are programmed with different printing operations and are used to log data. The TPD433 touchscreen PLC is used as a user interface for the machine and is also used to display warnings and error messages. Machine automation with dual-port Ethernet I/O modules is used with SCADA software for advanced monitoring systems, which can allow for monitoring, control, and optimizing of machines based on scheduling and performance-based operations. SCADA software can display real-time measurement data from data acquisition equipment in machines. Indusoft is a powerful and easy-to-use HMI and SCADA software platform. We provide an hour of free web-based training on this software with purchase. Please contact your account manager for information on qualifying purchase. Some of our company benefits include customized product and OEM capabilities, low lead times, and personalized care. We provide industrial products at competitive prices and keep up with the latest technology. We offer free technical support and offer a wide variety of modular solutions that meet many different kinds of application requirements. I will now pass the presentation over to Robert for a demonstration of machine automation with Indusoft SCADA software. Robert? We can't hear you. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay, hello, are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, I muted myself. Okay, I have Indusoft Web Studio here open. What I'm going to show you is the Indusoft standard demo with many industry demos. And with this demo, you can connect our ET7200, and this Indusoft can run on our XPack, WinPack, ViewPack, and a PC. So if you have any SCADA requirements, Indusoft is a great versatile tool which accepts many different drivers, including Modbus TCP, which are ET7200 that Maria showed you during the webinar, as well as our WinPack, ViewPack, and XPack data, and many of our other I/O modules as well. It also works with other brands of PLCs with standard protocols, many of which there are drivers for Indusoft. If you have any questions about driver compatibility, we can certainly help you with that. I just want to go through a few screens. These are some industry demos. This one is a sample for oil and gas industry. We're showing angular gauges with pressure and flow values. The tags used in this demo are just virtual tags with random data, but we can program it with actual I/O modules, either Modbus TCP, Modbus RTU, or many other protocols. We also have an automotive demo. This one shows robotic movement and angle of the arm and the ability to put the robot in auto mode or manual mode. So in this demo, you would interact this with a motion controller. From wind and energy industry, we have this screenshot. This just shows the various statuses of the windmill, and would show wind direction and wind velocity. For food and beverage, we have this demo screen. It just allows you to create auto or manual processes. And this is simulating bottle filling. And notice the animation and the blinking statuses of the valves. Those are based on I/O. So if you, for instance, had say a digital input tied to one of the valve statuses, you can connect a remote I/O module where each valve is, and you can show the status on the screen so that either you can log the data or you can view the data from a remote site. And finally, we have our wastewater screen. What this one does is shows tank level and allows you to turn on and turn off valves from a remote location. Let's see, this right here is the runtime environment, and we both support the runtime and development licenses through ICP-DOS for the InduSoft product, and the InduSoft product can interact with the ET7200 using Modbus TCP protocol and many of our other products. Okay, Maria, that's all I have for you today.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, so at this time, we'll go ahead and take any questions. Any questions that you may have, please go ahead and type them into the chat box. If you can think of any questions at any later time, you can always send them in to us by email or give us a call. Our phone number is 310-517-9888. And I guess we'll go ahead and move on. If there's no questions, we'll move on to the okay, somebody asked about an application of ET7226. So for example, ET7226, it can be configured over a web browser, and you can configure the I/O types like a current and voltage. You can also configure the outputs, and then you can use it like as a standalone application, or we have a free easy data logger software that you can use on a PC for simple monitoring and control, or you can use InduSoft SCADA software, and you can set up a control and monitoring system on a PC, or like Robert mentioned, also on a pack controller like the WinPack, the XPack, and the ViewPack. We also have let's see, it was here, the ET7226, like the ET7202, can also be used together with programmable controllers and touchscreen controllers, and you can use them for machine automation or any other kind of application, industrial application like building automation, solar monitoring, wind monitoring, power generation. We have another question here. Do you guys provide sensors for weather like pressure, rain, wind, CO2? So we provide the data acquisition equipment, the equipment that can take the data from the sensors, but we don't provide the actual sensor level components. You can get those from any kind of component manufacturer. Do you have any other questions? Okay, so if you can think of any other questions later, you can always contact us. And we'll go ahead and move on to the trivia questions. Just go ahead and type your answers into the chat box, and we will reply to the trivia winners by email. And I've had some trivia winners asking for the correct answer, so after I ask the question and I can see that we have enough answers typed in the chat box, then I'm also going to say the correct answer. So the first answer is, what kind of networking topology can the dual port Ethernet I/O modules be installed in? There were a couple pictures shown earlier in the presentation. Just for reference, this is an example of the topology here. Just go ahead and type your answers into the chat box. And yes, the answer is daisy chain topology. The next question is, what are some types of machines you can use dual port Ethernet I/O with for automation? Just go ahead and type your answers into the chat box. That way we'll be able to determine who typed in the first answer. What are some types of machines you can use dual port Ethernet I/O with for automation? Okay, in the presentation we showed a couple different kinds of machines. One was a printing machine, one was a CNC machine. Robert also showed a food processing machine, and you can use them for many other kinds of machines. So going on to the next question, what are some things you may want to measure with from a machine? What are some things you may want to measure with or from a machine? Okay, so yes, you may want to measure, we mentioned a count of the boxes, a count of bottles, how many cartons of orange juice. Also, yes, like your answers are right, the levels, the pressure, the temperature, or the weight. Yes, those are correct. So thank you for attending our webinar, and if we can help you with any projects, please feel free to contact us at any time. And thank you so much for attending. Have a great day.